Person of power and influence. They shape environments. Their presence changes the room even before they speak. They are followed. People align with them as they are a source of opportunity. Their word creates movement. When they decide, things happen. Being near to them accelerates growth, status, access, and results. What's the bridge to go from person of interest to one day you flip the switch and you go over to person of power and influence? Let's shift to person of power and influence. What are you seeing that's the biggest difference between those two? Because when we get into, because I was trying last night, I was sitting there and I was mapping it out, like what's the bridge to go from person of interest to one day you flip the switch and you go over to person of power and influence. Power is a means or source for supplying energy. So it's like your confidence converts to boldness. See the difference? Like if you study the habits of the top 1%, they don't have confidence. They have remarkable boldness. And if you looked at the top habits of the top 1% and you did like, what did I write about 12 years ago in the book Person of Interest? Top 1% have all of those. But they don't just have confidence, they got a boldness about them. So now I got to start converting to kind of go across this bridge to be a person of power and influence. So let me read you some of these. Listen to these characteristics. They control the levers, budgets, approvals, relationships, and green lights. They shape environments. Their presence changes the room even before they speak. They are followed. People align with them as they are a source of opportunity. Person of interest is, you're an interesting person. I'm curious about you. I'm gravitating toward you. Person of power is, I see you as a means and source for helping me expand. Therefore, I would like to be associated with you. Everybody see that? I want proximity to you. I want to be close, right? Their word creates movement. When they decide, things happen immediately. Person of power and influence, when they say they're doing something, it's happening. Moves are being made. We don't talk about it. Kind of what we talked about yesterday. High value proximity. Being near to them accelerates growth, status, access, and results. Their influence is structural, not social. They don't need attention to maintain authority. Okay? Now what we're doing is we're kind of starting to see the difference here in this bridge between I'm a person of interest and I got a message and a topic. These are prerequisites, and I'm out there kind of giving this message, but at some point, and this is really what I'm kind of dissecting in my own brain, is I make a decision to bridge over here to being a person of power and influence. And I got to kind of go over this bridge. Now, what is this decision and what are things I could do? Let me tell you a decision that I made. I'm no longer going to emulate these people that I study. I'm going to become one of these people. I'm not going to read their best-selling books. I'm going to write my own best-selling books. When I was a coach, I'm not going to be a good coach. I'm going to be a championship coach. See the difference? When you ask Price Pritchett how to have a quantum leap, Lewis Howes said, how do you know when you're ready for a quantum leap? And he said, you don't know. You just make a simple decision that you're going to experience a quantum leap. Same decision that's got to be made here, but there's things in between here that really kind of shape this part right here. Okay? It's kind of demonstrated capacity, confidence to boldness, right? Networks are expanding. High degree or proclivity for action versus talk. A lot of psychological flexibility. So let's ask ourselves this morning, where are we on this continuum? You may have a realization, hey, I'm not yet a person of interest. And I need to go through these foundational things. If you go back in the old days, guys, I would have 2 or 3 people in my workshops. Richard was there back in the old days when I used to go to Chattanooga in a little Hampton hotel room. And how many people were there sometimes? Sometimes it'd be 4 and sometimes it would be 50. But this is the part right here where you got to make a decision that I'm not going to emulate these people. I'm going to start becoming one of these people. What do those people do? They do this and they do this and do this, right? In the early days, Lou Holtz was writing books and Mike Krzyzewski, and I was a young basketball coach, and I go, they're writing books, I'm writing books. And I may not be at Notre Dame, but I know how to win. And I just started emulating them. But then there came this decision, like, I'm over that. I'm tired of emulating them. I'm going to become them. This is a key decision in my mind to flip the switch between person of interest to person of power and influence.